skin, a tegument that covers the human body, is exposed to a number of diseases. Psoriasis is the disease whereby there is an excessive proliferation of skin cells. The disease is characterized by the appearance of red patches covered by silvery scales, which are easily detached, thus causing very unpleasant bothering and major discomfort. Lesions are found mainly on the scalp and the joints, although they could expand to the whole body. But they can only affect the palms, the foot soles, or any skin fold. The disease evolves through crisis preceded by highly stressing emotional states or throat infections. It becomes more frequent during wintertime, and the symptoms are itching, scaling, and bleeding.
Empecé con la enfermedad de la psoriasis a los 23 años, actualmente tengo 27, la cual ha sido muy molesta para mí porque empecé muy joven y entonces es una enfermedad que da mucha picazón, te da hasta sudoración en la piel, te puede hasta sangrar y no sé, sentí hasta complejo cuando salí a la calle, además con mi relación porque yo sentía mucho complejo.
Esto me empezó debido a una crisis nerviosa que tuve. Empezó a salirme roncha, empezó una picazón muy grande, en la cabeza me salía en el pecho, me salía aquí en los brazos. Yo me ponía demasiado con los nervios, más nervioso todavía porque me rascaba y no veía que no se me quitaba. Salía a la calle y las personas me miraban y creyendo que se pegaba. Y he pasado mucho con esta enfermedad.
Some studies have revealed that 2% of the world population suffers from this disease, which becomes more frequent among white males in the 30s, living in countries with cold or temperate climates. It is not an infectious disease and is not associated to any nutritional habit. It is not inherited, although 30% of patients have relatives suffering from the same. Even today, the disease might usually be misleading. Therefore, the differential diagnosis is made through comparisons with different kinds of dermatitis and infections caused by superficial fungi. A very strict diagnosis is required, which is further confirmed by a biopsy of the lesions or scaly patches. Under highly emotional situations or heavy stress, the disturbed nervous system of patients release some chemicals which act on the skin. On the outer lining of the skin, which is the epidermis, there are some cells called keratinocytes, which are the basic components of the epidermis. The action of the substances released by the nervous system reduces the intracell concentration of a chemical called cyclical monophosphate adenosine that triggers the reproduction of keratinocytes, thereby causing severe inflammation of the skin, which is the basic disorder caused by the disease. Then the scaly patches observed in patients are sites where there has been an increase in the number of cells producing inflammation, poor elasticity, cracking, and bleeding. During the 80s, Dr. Millares Cao, a doctor of medicine and specialist in pharmacology and gynecology and obstetrics, who at the time was a professor of the Faculty of Pharmacology at the Medical School of the University of Havana, began to study the metabolism of human placenta and discovered that it produced a substance that increased the intracellular concentration of the cyclical monophosphate adenosine on skill cells, while inhibiting the reproduction of keratinocytes. These findings showed that such substance of human origin could be easily assimilated and could be of great use in the treatment of patients suffering from psoriasis. Dr. Millares Cao had made an important discovery for humankind, and now he had the possibility to develop and prescribe the treatment. After performing the indispensable preclinical and toxicological tests, the clinical trials started with the valuable cooperation of Dr. Manuel Taboas, professor of dermatology at the General Hospital Calixto Garcia of Havana. All clinical tests showed that the substance extracted from the placenta had a 78% therapeutic efficacy and that there were no local or systemic toxic reactions. During the 90s, the Ministry of Public Health of Cuba registered the new medication under the name of Coriodermina. This marked the beginning of the big battle against psoriasis. The new treatment with Coriodermina was noticeably effective, but required topical application on the lesions 3 times a day at 8-hour intervals. To accelerate the curative process, the treatment required patients to be exposed to infrared light or sunshine on a daily basis. Keeping up with the treatment for months was beyond any doubt rather cumbersome. The everyday duties to be accomplished by patients prevented them from following the treatment properly. Dr. Millares Cao and his research team at the Center of Placentary Histotherapy began to find the means to increase its power and extend the anti-psoriatic effect of Coriodermina. So an idea was brought about to combine Coriodermina with the use of a magnesium sulfate gel, since this substance also inhibited the reproduction of epidermic cells. Preclinical studies combined the topical application of the Coriodermina gel with the use of 5% magnesium sulfate moisturizing gel, which proved to be a stronger inhibitor of epidermic cells reproduction.
Los ensayos preclínicos realizados en la cola de ratones albinos, utilizando conjuntamente la coriodermina con el gel de sulfato, es decir, el gel hidratante, demostraron que la unión de ambos productos tenía una actividad antisoriática superior a cuando se utiliza la coriodermina sola, ya que al llevar las láminas de los cortes de cola de ratón al microscopio se pudo ver que la epidermis, o sea, la reducción de la epidermis en los casos de los animales tratados con ambos productos era superior a lo que se logra reducir con la coriodermina sola. Por lo tanto, el efecto para el tratamiento de la psoriasis es mejor cuando se utilizan ambos productos juntos.
Clinical trials showed that this new combination had an 85% therapeutic efficiency. It was necessary to apply the medication only twice a day at 12-hour intervals. Exposure to solar or infrared radiation was no longer necessary. Likewise, it was confirmed that so far this is the only medication that can cure psoriasis without any side effect. Therefore, it can be safely used in children, pregnant women, and the elderly. Results are highly positive and they surpass the percentage of cures obtained with the use of coriodermina alone.
Se logró mejorar el tratamiento de la psoriasis con la coriodermina, al combinar la aplicación tópica del gel de coriodermina con un gel de sulfato de magnesio. De esta forma se lograba un mayor efecto inhibidor de la reproducción de las células de la piel, con lo cual se disminuía el número de aplicaciones de la coriodermina, que antes era 3 veces en el día, a solamente 2 veces en el día. Y también se lograba hacer innecesaria la exposición del paciente a la radiación solar o infrarroja.
It should be used as a topical ointment and applied very softly on the skin, forming a thin layer over the psoriatic patches twice a day at 12 hours interval. Patients are allowed to eat any kind of food or drink any kind of beverage, since nutrition does not interfere with the anti-psoriatic effect of the medication. Likewise, patients are allowed to take other medications prescribed by the physician to treat other diseases, with the exception of corticoids and other medications prescribed to cure psoriasis. The use of creams, ointments, and skin lotions should be avoided. Perfume should be used on the clothes, never on the skin. Patients could bathe, wash up, or use deodorants 1 hour after the medication has been applied. Likewise, patients can enjoy going to the beach at any time of the day, but long exposures to sunshine should be avoided to prevent sunburn, which could affect the skin even more. Besides, you should know this. Should lesions appear on the scalp, a pillow-active lotion should be applied on a daily basis. In this case, the patient should wash his or her hair with a pillow-active shampoo every 3 days. Both the lotion and the shampoo should be those from the cosmetic amniotherapy line. These treatments should be applied for 2 to 3 years, even if lesions on the scalp disappear. Once the lesions from the whole body disappear, the application of coriodermina and the moisturizing gel should be stopped. Should lesions reappear again, treatment should be resumed. Usually, patients have longer periods without lesions or minor outbreaks. After 2 to 3 years, the disease disappears without any relapse. The coriodermina gel should be kept in cool temperatures, for after 6 hours at room temperature, the medication may lose its efficacy.
Si los pacientes cumplen adecuadamente con el tratamiento y nuestros consejos, es posible que en los primeros 3 a 15 días se comiencen a observar los primeros efectos antipsoriáticos, disminuyendo el grado de inflamación y el número de las lesiones.